What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cesar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. So here we are. Yesterday did not end up the way that we thought it would. We were getting that breakout move, looking like we were reaching for these higher prices around 475 to 490, somewhere in that range. We didn't get there, unfortunately, but I do assume we're going to go there. If not today, within the next 48 hours, I would assume that we're up there, if not higher. Looking like we've got a lower low in the RSI with lower lows in the price. That is bearish convergence. It's not the end of the world, but it's not a good start. The fact that we dropped down here with pretty intense candles without a lot of volume, still above average volume, but less volume than we had on the way up at least, and bigger candles on the way down with less volume. That is a good sign to some degree. From a low to a high, you are reaching, but not quite there for your 618. Bitcoin Cash loves to do this where it reaches for its 618, but it finds support somewhere between the 0.5 and the golden ratio, or even between the 382 and the 0.5. So sometimes it does that. Don't be surprised if it finds support here at about $432. Don't be surprised if it goes lower. It absolutely could go lower. We could return even to 420 or something like that. I don't assume we go lower, but if we close below like 417, then likely we will go below $400 even, and below that. So hopefully we don't even do that. But 435 here, anticipating a move. Probably what we do, throughout the day is just kind of boring, move sideways, and then sometime today or tomorrow, I would expect that we are at that 480 to 490 area today or tomorrow. At this point, it might be tomorrow. 1 hour RSI suggests that we would go a little bit lower. 15-minute, not so much, actually. 15-minute would suggest we bounce here, but maybe not intensely. 1 hour could suggest you bounce here. I mean, it's not unheard of to just bounce right off your oversold zone. 33 minutes left. I suppose you could bounce here, man. Maybe we do find a bounce right here, man. You're at the bottom of this range here. Yeah, I guess let's call for a move up. You're at 434. We'll just make the same call that I had for yesterday, man. We'll talk about 475 to 490 by the end of today. If it's not by the end of today, then it'll be by the end of tomorrow, but certainly by the end of this week. This week here, I would expect not only are we above this whole range that we've been in since the end of December there, I would expect that not only are we above this, but we probably get to the high ends of this next range here, right? Like this was a range right here. The high ends would be somewhere around like 560, 550, something in that range. If we look at the overall high to low, 550 right there, man. So 530 to 550 is your next target area. Likely by the end of this week is what we would go for. If not higher, you could be higher, but essentially I'm expecting Bitcoin Cash to close this week 22% or 26% in the green, if not more, is the kind of gist of that statement there. So looking good, looking fierce, looking ready to go, man. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon, by the way. I don't know why. I've been forgetting to say that the past couple times, but it almost looks like we're getting set up for our next kind of uptrend in the daily, right? And if that were to be the case, it might be February that we really start to get things going, because if it is an uptrend, likely we're not going to go to the overbought zone right now. Likely, right, like this, you had 1, 2, third peak, you finally got overbought. Fourth peak, you really got overbought. Fifth peak, you were living in it, right? We've only had one peak here, so 2 peaks, 3 peaks, maybe 4. Like, how's it going to look? I don't know how our uptrend's going to look. Is it going to be an uptrend? Do we just move up? It doesn't have to be an uptrend, right? But it does look bullishly postured right now. I do suspect that we'll move higher. It does look like we're turning a turn here. We're turning the tide here. I don't know what word to use. And I definitely suspect that we will interact with the upper ends of this range here. So something probably, again, between about 550, probably at 550, if not 560, somewhere in that range. Once you break above that zone, once you break above 550, probably not, actually. I'll change that. Once you get above, basically you'll have to get above this high. You get above 644, that's when we know that within probably a 2-week time frame or less, we will be at 936. Well, likely, you break above 644, likely within a 2-week time frame, you're going to see prices above $1,000. If not within that 4-week time frame, but in a very, very short amount of time, I would expect that you do break to $1,000. The next target when we break out of here is likely not going to be 1,000 itself, but a little bit above it at $1,300 there. If not something even a little higher than that at $1,700 to $1,900. The minimum target would be $1,000 itself, but the more realistic target is something between about $1,300 to $1,700, I think, and that likely does come by the end of February. Sometime in the middle of February is what my expectations are. If it happens slower, that's okay. It can happen slower, but it's going to get there. It's definitely going to get there. I want to look at BCH, BTC, and then we can finish this video up, okay? BCH BTC here. Looking at it on a 3-day time frame. I don't hate the RSI, right? It's neutral. It's neutral, bullishly postured, but neutral, to be completely fair. And that's fine. Price action is neutral too. Let's look at the weekly. At the low points here, yeah. Higher lows, some form of bullish divergence. I wouldn't call it bullish divergence though personally, but definitely some kind of bullish divergence. Bouncing off the 786. Might not get too much off of that. That's okay. Ooh, maybe the weekly RSI. There we go. Yeah, that's a little something there, right? Definitely got a consolidation phase going on with the weekly RSI, something like this. Yeah, it looks pretty perfect actually. It's pretty damn perfect. So we're gonna break out of this one way or another. When we do break out of it, that's going to lead to a pretty big move for BCH versus BTC. I'm under the assumption we break out of this to the upside. So all that would take probably is just a move. We need greater than a 55 read on the RSI. When we get that, we're breaking out of this to the upside, and likely breaking out of this consolidation in the weekly RSI, which started back here with like this whole consolidation in the price. Breaking out of this weekly RSI consolidation likely presents a move that breaks out of this whole price consolidation as well, is the theory that I'm trying to offer. Just because you break out of the RSI consolidation, like let's say you were here, it doesn't mean that you're going to be up here, right? That's not what that means. Likely, if you break that RSI consolidation, you'll be like something like around here, and then you just progress over time. You broke out of it. It doesn't mean that you're going above these highs now, but just over time, likely that's what that would imply. Not guarantee, but imply. So stuff to look forward to, I suppose, on a weekly basis if we can get above the 55. What would that take? I suppose we would need to move up versus Bitcoin. What would that take? Come on now. And I'm just doing a rough guess here, right? Because I'm not actually even doing the math. You got a 40 to get above 55. I would assume you probably would, right? The last time that you were down in these areas in the RSI, you saw a move like that. So you'd probably have to see something versus Bitcoin that was like 30% or more in growth, okay? 30% more in growth. If I'm expecting BTC to be at 130K around the month's end, it's a 40% move. That would then just mean that Bitcoin Cash would have to do 30% more than a 40% move. So maybe by the end of the month, Bitcoin Cash is at like $800 or $900, something like that. I could see that. That makes sense. That's kind of what we're going for. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll know that this is on par if and when Bitcoin Cash is here on the BTC scale. If Bitcoin Cash is at least like $800 or more on the USD scale, then that's how we know that this probably is leading to something of a bullish breakout in this BTC pairing is what my thoughts are, and a bullish breakout obviously in the USD pairings as well. But I got nothing else for you guys. I'm rambling at this point, right? Bitcoin Cash 435 now, 480 to 490 by the end of today. If not by the end of tomorrow is the idea, and then something well above $500 by the end of this week. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want more content like this. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.